Hey everyone, just doing a quick video sort of analysis here of two examples. So this one here, which you can see, training platforms you might have seen going around on Facebook recently. There's also another one, it's just going to be just after it. What we're looking at today more is the pre-conflict situation. So we're looking at pre-contact cues, understanding sort of microaggressions before somebody attacks. This first example, in my view, is very easy. It's a textbook example of a pre-contact sort of situation. The second one is a little bit harder. So starting off from here, I'm just going to sort of play the video through and chat over the top as we go, so we know who's who. This guy here is the bad guy. The guy coming up the stairs over here is the victim, and then you've got the female here who is just a bystander. But if you look at what the commonality between both of them are, they're both staring at their phones. If you've heard of the Cooper colour code, which I talk about quite a bit, it gives you an example where your awareness level should be. Basically, if you're outside your own home, you should be in yellow. White is oblivious, which is what these people are in at the moment, generally. Completely unaware of surroundings. Yellow is relaxed and calm, but looking for potential threats and any pre-contact cues. Orange is that you've sort of confirmed a threat and then taking steps to deal with it. Red is that you're engaged. Okay, so if we sort of continue here. So you can clearly see this guy's aggressive. I mean, some people just do walk around like this, but he's got that sort of bowl sort of thing. He's looking down the track, and then he'll start to make his way towards the victim. Now, from this point here, the victim, as you can see, is clearly identified that this guy's coming straight for him. But in this point here, chooses not to do anything. Now, as I said before, it's hard in modern society because we try to give people the benefit of doubt. You don't want to be in conflict situations. So what he decides to do is just ignore it. It sort of works out for him because the bad guy doesn't get the response he wanted, and you can see that, and he keeps on moving. But the victim should now be in orange, in my view. That's clearly a threat. For whatever reason, he's walked to that close, but now he hasn't gone anywhere. He hasn't gone down the stairs. He's still there. So you could take steps at this point. You should be in orange. You should probably keep moving down the platform away from him and see what he does. You've got obstacles there, the telephone box, etc. You can move around, but he chooses not to move. And therefore, the attacker then comes in. So clearly coming back. That should almost be escalating to red by now. You know there's a problem. And obviously then he hits him and moves. This is the problem that we have today of people avoiding conflicts to the point where it's putting themselves in danger, where they don't want the conflict. You have to accept that there are people out there that are going to choose to have that conflict for you. You need to sort of do as best you can to have as much space so you've got as much time as possible to think. So moving on then, this is the next one. This one's a little bit harder, but there is some very quick microaggressions, some obvious ones, but they're quick as well. This is the bad guy here. This female walking down here is not the victim, but he does display the same sort of pre-contact aggression that he will to the actual victim, and the actual victim will be coming from this way, walking down the street here. So sort of moving on. So if you watch him here, he's going to jolt. So he jolts towards her. She's seen it, doesn't really take any action from it, and that's lucky in her case. That is not a normal thing for someone to do. You should at least be looking to get space or stop or do something, but don't just walk past, completely ignoring it. As we continue, the actual victim is going to come from the other way. So obviously some sort of time later, because you can see there's a video cut. If you saw that towards the woman coming from the other way, then you should be taking steps to potentially avoid it and not walk past it, ignore it. But you can see there's a cut in the video there, so I don't know what the time differences are between her walking past and then the victim. He's going to stand up really quick and then sort of jolt towards him and then push him on the road. So it's unfortunate, obviously a truck comes the other way. If we just go back a bit, he stands up relatively quick. Now obviously that's not unusual necessarily, but he walks straight towards him. So you can clearly see he's going to be a direct path towards him. There is absolutely no mistaking from this point that there's ill intent coming straight towards you. His hands are in the pockets. There's something I always mention about, is watch the hands. There could be a knife involved in this sort of situation. Now whether the victim just didn't see it or is ignoring it, just depends. But these sort of situations here, you need to have a response. It will be hard to deal with because the force that he's coming with, and unfortunately there's a truck coming. So therefore, if you had good footwork, you could potentially have bounced off the push, but then you still have the threat of the truck there. That's obviously just situationally dependent. So really it comes down to sort of understanding sort of threat and understanding sort of how potential aggressors may move.